Tell us, how can a company that feels its product is a commodity begin to discover its true differentiation?
One of the best things you can do if you're an engineering firm or technology company is to have a third party. Get somebody from the outside. It could be a customer, supplier, partner, and ask them to look at what you are doing. Ask them to identify what they think is unique, especially what they think you should never, ever change. It's so important. We're willing to throw things out, change things, and many times we have something that's really great. So bring in a fresh set of eyes to look at what you're doing, to give you feedback. That will help you.
Welcome to the Feria TechCast. We'll bring all things science, engineering, technology, and innovation. Today, we are joined by Barry LaBov, a two-time Ernst and Young Entrepreneur of the Year, celebrated author, speaker, and brand strategist with a core emphasis on differentiation. Barry advocates for leaders to unearth and champion their brand's distinctiveness to win market share and the hearts of the people who represent it. His book, The Power of Differentiation, Win Hearts, Minds, and Market Share, distributed by Simon and Schuster, embodies this philosophy. As the founder of LaBov, a renowned marketing training firm serving blue chip clients, Barry is renowned for his infectious energy, creativity, and uplifting message. So, Barry, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm ready to get going, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Great. So, firstly, tell us, for our audience of technical-minded folks, what does brand differentiation actually mean in practical terms?
Well, here's what it means for all of our very, very brilliant, genius technical people out there who are engineers, examples of other things, technologists, whatever. So often we're too close to what we've created and we don't truly appreciate it. And we need to step back and identify that uniqueness, that brilliance, so that we can not only share it with the world, but we share it with the people who work with us on a daily basis. So it's incredibly important. We have great ideas right in front of us, and so often we pass by them every day.
Interesting. So, tell us, what's one of the mistakes you see engineering firms or tech companies make when they try to communicate their values?
Well, there are a couple of major mistakes. One is to commoditize. Many, many companies will try to basically dilute what makes them special so that they can look like, act like, smell like, and price like the competition. And when they do that, they lose all of their uniqueness. They lose everything they're doing that's so special. And they also lose the hearts and minds of their employees. The second problem that they run into is perfection. They want everything to be perfect first. So what we always stress is don't worry about perfection, make progress.
What's the biggest mistake you see engineering firms and tech companies make when they are trying to communicate their values?
Some of the biggest mistakes I see for engineering firms that are brilliant is that they commoditize. What they do is they try to act like, look like, smell like, and price like everybody else. And then what happens is they strip down that uniqueness. They get rid of it. The other issue I run into a lot is perfection. Many of them want things perfect. And before they're perfect, they're not ready to communicate what they're doing. They're not ready to launch. And we have to realize almost nothing is perfect. So the most important thing is forget perfection and look at progress.
Amazing. So, tell us, how can a company that feels its product is a commodity begin to discover its true differentiation?
One of the best things you can do if you're an engineering firm or technology company, is to have a third party. Get somebody from the outside. It could be a customer, supplier, partner, and ask them to look at what you are doing. Ask them to identify what they think is unique, especially what they think you should never, ever change. It's so important. We're willing to throw things out, change things, and many times we have something that's really great. So bring in a fresh set of eyes to look at what you're doing, to give you feedback. That will help you. The other thing you can do if you are also still struggling after that is to stop and say, what in the world are we doing that takes extra steps or extra money to do? Ask yourself that question. There may be a process, there may be a special metallurgy, a special machine, a special technology that you're using that nobody else uses, or at least you're spending extra money to do that your competition doesn't. That could be a differentiation as well.
Amazing. So tell us, what are some of the key parallels between innovating on a technical level and innovating on the brand level?
The most important thing I would say in answer to that question is look at what you're doing on the technical level as what your brand is. It's what's inside the products you're building or software you're programming. It's already in there. So your job on the brand side is discover it. Have all that great creativity and super innovation in your engineering, in your product. But from the creativity standpoint of your marketing, your branding, your advertising, use that to identify it and then better communicate it. Don't get more complicated. Simplify it, make it more digestible for the average person, for the average customer, as an example.
Wonderful. So tell us, why is it so important for technical leaders to share their brand story with employees first before taking it to customers?
Today, there are over 5 million brands out there, and there are over 40 million products with names. Our employees hear about them and deal with them all the time. On top of that, as a leader, as an engineer, as a technical company executive, you have individuals who need to feel a sense of significance and meaning in what they are doing. We have to celebrate with them first so they realize the really great things they are a part of. Otherwise, they'll be disenfranchised. They'll think, yeah, it's great. The boss makes a lot of money. I don't do anything special. I could go anywhere else, make a little more money. We have to make sure our people feel that what they do and where they work is significant.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, previously you talked about one way a company can discover its true differentiation is by asking people from the outside about what they think about the company. Now, I need to know the exact flow process. Are you as a company founder supposed to first communicate to your team internally and tell them the story about your company? Before you go to those external guys to ask for what they really think about the company to set your true differentiation, which is a founder supposed to actually do first.
I think you do them both. I don't think they're that complex. I think you're constantly sharing with your employees what you're doing and why it's important and getting their feedback on what we should never, ever change. What is it that's really special? Now, at the same time, you can turn to customers, suppliers, outsiders and say, will you come in and take a look with fresh eyes and tell me what you think? I think you can do it concurrently. Both inputs will be very valuable in what you learn.
Wonderful. So, can you kindly tell us how a founder who is deeply technical, like somebody that's founding a tech company or an engineer that's building a startup, so how can these technical minded people learn to tell compelling brand story without without it feeling inauthentic?
Well, that's the whole point. It's got to be authentic. And I think one of the most important things about your brand story is that it should be interesting. It should not say we're here and we have value, service, selection, and et cetera. It shouldn't sound like everybody else. In the English language, there are 200,000 words that we can use. And I strongly recommend using unique words that describe your brilliant products, your brilliant processes or technologies. I strongly suggest stop saying service, value, collection, uh, uh, you know, world class. Get rid of those words. They don't mean anything to people. Talk about maybe the rigor that you go through. Talk about some of the technological advances and what they can really do. Get specific. And when you do that, all of a sudden what happens is there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of enthusiasm because you're actually talking from the heart. You're speaking from your soul. That's what I recommend. Use the words that really describe you. Don't try to be a salesperson. Tell the story behind why you created it. Tell the story about what it does to make the world a little different, a little better.
Interesting. So, could you tell us a bit about your book, The Power of Differentiation? So, what was your motivation for writing the book, and who is it really for?
Book is for anybody that is a leader, whether they have that title or not, at any company anywhere, whether it's large or small, technology based, manufacturing, service, etc. The concept of the book originally was, hey, you have created something as a leader of a company or an owner that is unique. You should promote it and sell it to your customers. Well, as I was writing it, something happened and it was called COVID-19. And just in the United States alone, from the years 2021 to 2022, nearly 100 million Americans walked off their job. It became very apparent to me that, you know what, we need to differentiate our product and our brand and our technology to sell, of course, but we have to do it so that the people that work for us actually want to stay on the job and do really great work. That's what the book's about. The subtitle is Win, WIN, Win Hearts, Minds, and Market Share. And that's the order it's got to be in. You got to win the hearts of your people, the minds of your people, and then you're going to win the market share.
Sounds interesting. So, tell us, what are some strategies from your book that could be particularly effective for engineering-driven businesses?
One thing I think would be really great is if you think about it, if you're a technologically based company, demonstrate that technology by using technology. So, what I'm saying is use AR, VR, AI, whatever to demonstrate the genius of your product. So often, an engineer or a technologist will say, hey, we really have great stuff and we created this product and it's really cool. And then they hand out pieces of paper on it, and it looks like nothing. Who cares? Create an app, create something that could be augmented reality as an example, where you put your phone or your iPad in front of the product and all of a sudden you see the inner workings of it. Bring your technology to life utilizing technology.
So, tell us, uh, in a world obsessed with features and specifications, how can a tech company make an emotional connection with its clients?
That comes back to what we talked about a little earlier, which is the story. The story of your product cannot be the specs, because otherwise people are going to look at your spec versus another spec. And then there's going to be this one spec way at the bottom called price, and whoever's the cheapest wins. There has to be a story that is authentic, that shares why you created this and why it will solve a certain issue or improve a life in a certain way. And by the way, It's really powerful to let people know that your product is not necessarily for everybody. It's for a certain type of person and a certain type of need or company's need, whatever. So share the granular information on how this was created, why, and what it will do. Then the specs, great. You can throw them in there, but it's all about that end result.
That was amazing. So tell us, what are the roles that customer experience play in differentiating a highly technical product or service?
Well, one thing we need to understand, especially if you're an inventor out there and you've created something that's unique, you're an engineer, you're somebody that's a programmer, whatever, is that after you create that product, you're not done. If the experience of buying it and using that product is anything other than great, you're going to lose customers because here's what's really fascinating. The customer does not distinguish between your customer experience and your brand. This is what I mean. If you have a wonderful product, but the experience of buying it or using it is so terrible, what's going to happen is customers are going to say, I'll never buy that, whatever brand again. I'll never buy them. Well, your product may be great, but that experience that the customer goes through is not. They have to mirror each other. They have to be similar. If you're a highly technical product and you have people on a 1-800 number or AI on a website that cannot answer technical questions, you're going to disenfranchise your customers. So your customer experience is your brand in the eyes and the hearts of your customers.
So tell us, Barry, how can strong internal branding and employee engagement between a founder and his employee become a competitive advantage for, let's say, for example, a tech firm?
Great question. I spoke with Jason Lippert, who runs Lippert Components, which is a multi-billion-dollar worldwide company. And he used that term. He said, our culture is a competitive advantage. And what he meant by that was the thousands and thousands of people who work for him, and they do a lot of technical work, a lot of engineering based products. Those people have a great belief in their company and they have longevity, which means they will come back every day to work and they will bring new ideas. Those new ideas will then help Lippert as a company grow. So that's their competitive advantage.
That's wonderful. So, finally, Barry, I have one more question for you. So, I normally like to save this one for last, to ask every guest I interview here on this podcast. So, tell us,
Mhm.
what does innovation mean to you, and how does it relate to your line of work, in the context of branding and marketing?
There's nothing more exciting than to do something that has not been done before. That's innovation to me. That's originality. It's exciting. If that innovation can inspire people, can move them, then you will move mountains and you will move the world.
A wonderful, wonderful one there. So, finally, tell us, where can our listeners contact you, reach out to you, or maybe find your books and learn more about your work?
You can find my book on Amazon anywhere in the world. Please order it, but also please leave an honest review. We'd love that. You can look for me on LinkedIn. I am there. I will respond to any inquiry. And then my company's website is mylastname.com. So it's LABOV.com.
Amazing. So, Barry, it was uh, a really nice conversation with you today, and I'm really excited to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.